Okay, should I be the one to break the ice with this, or does Sam Reinhart have to do it because he scores the game OT winner, 3-2.
How long were you sitting on that one, Brian?
I went to the washroom and I was like, how am I gonna start this? And I'm like, okay, I gotta find a way. And then in that minute, I came up with it.
Okay, I think we covered everything. Thanks for listening to
All
part
right,
five.
yeah.
Thank you to NHL.
Thanks for sticking by all of our Leaf recap videos. It was fun. Great to make them. I had a great time after round one, game 6, 8 goddamn how
Passion, the passion.
how does it, like, this team has to be a case study. Like, they have to be a case study, dude. How do you lose the all the goodwill from your fan base in 8 goddamn days? It's like a movie. How to lose your fan base in 8 days? Is that not a movie, or am I thinking of something else?
Dave, you were so
Yeah,
happy.
movie.
Like I want to say like 6 weeks, six
That
days
was
ago.
hands down the best moment of my life 8 days ago. Like April 29th, 2023 was the best day of my life.
God.
I had the best day of my life. And it wasn't just because it was like, oh, the Leafs won, but it was like I got to share that experience with people that I genuinely care for. And everybody was
Sam.
happy. We got to share it on here. I got to share it with my family. I got to share it with my friends. My friends especially were at my house. What I'd never thought that would happen. Brian knows this because Brian came to my house for one of these potential clinching game 7
I
games.
did. I remember that.
And I was like, oh, dude, if it happens with like Brian and the other guys we were hanging out with, if it happens with them in my house, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be such a great moment. And you know what they fucking did that game? You know what they did that game? They proceeded to drop the biggest goose egg of all time of their playoff run until yesterday, or until the next one. You know what I mean? It was like they proceeded to just re-up their level of mediocrity and the ability to just turn into dog shit at will. It's literally unbelievable. I don't understand it.
I do love how like every Leaf fan believes in the house curse. Like my dad, same thing, bro. Same thing. Where he's like, he'll be like, you can't invite this friend over because I've been paying attention. The record isn't good when this friend's over. And I'm just like, please shut up. And then I had a bunch of friends over to watch Game 6, and they did the thing. Brian was there. He
I'm
was
2
there.
and 0 with you
The
this year.
lucky, yes. I'm 2-0 with Brian. So, and listen, there's been some good Leaf moments with Brian in the house. Game
Oh
2
yeah,
against
too
Washington.
many.
I always bring this up. I know it's literally the only thing. This guy can like throw cups on top of us, and I throw that double overtime Kaepernick. Yeah, remember that
That has
one?
been one of the worst moments of my
Gotcha,
life.
Brian. We got you, man. Yeah, that was okay, but no, we're not gonna get happy today. We're angry. We have the
I'm not even
passion, but the
angry.
passion is. You're right. You're
I'm
right. It's not
solemn.
anger.
It's not.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just disappointed. Again, like, why
yeah.
why am I disappointed for? I don't get it. I really don't. I thought once JT scored in in round 1, game 6 overtime, I was like, dude, the sky is
So,
legitimately the limit here. And now the sky's falling down. What happened? It's 8 days. It's been 8 goddamn days. How has that happened?
Dave, I want to let you know too. So when the Leafs knocked up Tampa, like something we talked about right after is that we want Florida chance, right? And that's been a storyline this
Oh.
whole series. Like I can't like it's all over my social media feeds. I can't turn on TV without turn on the TV without seeing it. You're the one to call that out. I will say that you're the one that's
I'm
saying
giving Christian credit on that too, because
yes,
we
we
both
had
did.
the same
yes.
we had the exact same
Yeah,
thought. We were like,
it's loser mentality.
that is loser
But
mentality.
but David said something that's like still in my mind. Bulletin board material. Paul
Oh.
Maurice is gonna eat it up.
Oh, buddy, it's not even bulletin board material anymore. It is fucking arena material now. That they put that shit on the jumbotron at FLA Live Arena. That's what they did. And then you know what they did? All the Florida fans, as they were leaving, let those Leaf fans have it. The Snowbirds, oh my God, did they let them have it after the game? The "We Want Florida" chants were ringing true in Sunrise last night, everybody. Guys, Tell me that this team is. Give me one reason why this team is not eternally cursed. Tell me.
Because
I got
you
nothing.
have 11 in like how many years in the league?
What?
105,
You're close.
106.
You're close to like 10%. Like your odds are better than mine, if
oh,
that makes
But
sense.
Brian, if we had said that, if I had said this to you 60 years, if you had told any Leaf fan in 1967, this is gonna be the last time you're
See
ever
you
gonna
at the
see.
next one
Yeah,
in
if you ever,
2020.
yeah, it's been 50 years, Brian. There has
Okay.
been 24, 26. I don't know how to do math. There has been 26 new NHL franchises. Some of them have
You're right. You're right.
have been born, moved, and moved back to their original place before the Leafs have even tasted a cup final appearance.
I'll give
And,
you that one.
oh my
I'm not
god.
gonna argue with you today. I'm not gonna bother
Oh,
with
thank you, Brian. Thank you for giving us that one. I
Yeah.
feel much better. Thank you. Thank you.
So
Yeah, I like. Are we gonna ever like really do like game analysis? I don't even think we can do game
Oh, there isn't
analysis,
game
bro.
analysis. They were bad.
No.
They were bad. That's our
Yes,
game
they were
analysis.
bad.
They were
deserve,
bad.
Yeah, they deserve to lose that one.
They did
Yeah.
deserve to lose that. Dude,
Okay, here's
sorry,
Go ahead.
if David Camp, I love David Camp. You love David Camp, Christian, as
He
much as
had
the
the
next
David
person.
Camp playoff game, man.
We
Oh my
literally
God.
did.
He had
We
it.
wasted the David Camp playoff game.
Damn it! Damn it!
You know who wasted the David Camp playoff game? Everybody
Trying
on
to
his
keep-
like
yeah.
team. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody,
everyone,
everybody that
everyone.
he lines up next to every goddamn night wasted a beautiful performance from David Camp, Sam
Sam
Lafferty,
Lafferty.
who had
Yeah.
a fantastic game.
Eric Gustafson, incredibly
Gustafson.
terrible at the same time game.
Yeah, he was awful in his own end, great on the offensive zone, which we said he was good to do, and he did. He showed up, but
Here's the super stat I was sitting on. I don't know. Like I just saw this. Maybe you guys have already seen it yesterday, this morning, whatever. According to NHL stats, this is the first time ever that the quartet of Matthews, Martin, Nylander, and Tavares have all been held goalless for 3 consecutive games. So since Tavares came in 2018, 2019.
that was his first playoffs with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is like regular season and playoffs combined. This quartet has never gone 3 games without one of them scoring a goal. This is a great time to do it finally, right? To get off the schneid. Get off the schneid by getting on the schneid of not scoring in 3 straight games. So I'll say that like I don't really have a firm opinion yet on where you go from here, assuming they lose this series and assuming they lose it without much of a fight. I will say that you can basically have any opinion under the sun, and I don't really have like a rebuttal to it for it being stupid or not. Like I really think you could propose any idea for what to do with the Leafs, and it's kind of rational. Fold the franchise, yeah, I get that. I don't know, turn it into like a
Christian. When I
start
say
selling milk, become milk
burn,
salesman.
burn down the Scotiabank Arena, salt it, make a new arena, and then try again. I guess maybe try to do that within
rational.
That's like if we're going to talk about rationality, if this is 0 and this is 100% rational, it's at 1%, but it's a percent. A percent is still a percent.
And I can't
like, you know
I can't really like get mad at you. I think as someone who has the dad who just wants the team to hit and the uncles who just don't like William Nylander and all this stuff. I can't even get mad at them anymore. I don't have a leg to stand on. And now I say, you're right. Maybe yeah. And when I say this stuff to them about like, well, like maybe you shouldn't hit a guy if you have a 2-on-1. Maybe like shoot the puck in the net. They can't be like, oh, you know what? You're wrong. No, they gotta say I'm right. Like everything is on the table. What to do with this team? I don't know. I don't have an opinion right now. But if you told me you wanted to trade Martin, if you told me you wanted to trade Nylander, if you told me you wanted to trade Austin Matthews for Connor Bedard, like I'd be like, maybe we think about it. Like we think like I'm serious.
So
and
I know how you guys feel. I was in your shoes 2017. What did we do? We retooled. We lost a lot of key assets. We lost half our team, essentially. We didn't have the same team going into next year, but it worked out. My
Can I tell you
take.
who that sounds like though?
Who?
That sounds like the
Last year.
Florida Panthers. That
Yes.
sounds like the President's Trophy winning Florida Panthers who lost a lot off their roster, didn't think they really had much of a chance, weren't even going to make the playoffs, are now in the playoffs and look like they're putting it all together. That doesn't sound like the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No, it
Just saying.
doesn't. But
Just saying.
but the Panthers are the 2018 version of us. You guys are the 2017 version of us. If that makes sense.
I don't think we are though. That's
I don't. I genuinely
Okay.
don't even think
we
we
are.
could even get. I thought.
we
you know,
thought
the-
2018's version was yours, bro.
and then 2019.
That's
true,
And then,
yeah,
we
okay.
finally got through. I think we finally got through oh my god, we got through round 1. 20 years of pain, and it was like the monkeys lifted off our backs, and this is the time to go on a run. All those
Turns
big
out there was a
teams-
monkey on the monkey's back.
Yeah,
So,
it really does seem like that. There was if we had an ape on our backs, there was another silverback on
There's
top
a
of that.
goddamn
that ape.
orangutan.
Yeah,
hanging
King
off
Kong
the
was standing on
man.
top of him. You know what I mean?
God!
Oh my
man.
god.
Listen, I think what we have to realize is we're not the Caps that Brian was alluding to. You know, we just might be the San Jose Sharks of the 2010s. Right.
Wow. There is more justification for that to be happening, but at the very least, guys, the San Jose
Cup
Sharks made a
final.
cup final.
Tons
They
of
made a cup
conference
final.
finals, tons of round wins.
Yep. I don't even think we're gonna get that.
We're not
gonna
even the
get that.
goddamn San
We
Jose Sharks,
don't even get the
man.
satisfaction. We don't even get the satisfaction of getting reverse swept or the dissatisfaction. We're just gonna get swept. You know what I mean? We didn't even win games.
So
You know what I mean? Like,
so do you guys know the stat of how many teams have come back from 3-0? Sorry,
Or,
from
like,
0-3?
isn't it 3 or 4? And one of them was the Leafs in like 1950 something
1942.
against the Detroit Red Wings in the Stanley Cup final.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Something
the other
like
one
that.
is the Kings. There's the Phillies. The Flyers on the Bruins. What's the other one that I don't know?
I have no idea.
the
but
Islanders.
Oh, the Islanders?
Oh, okay.
Islanders in
Dynasty years?
You know when it was? 1980.
Oh, okay. The power play. That power
Yeah.
play.
But
Okay.
what I will say is that the odds are not looking good.
So you
but-
figure it's one every 25 years. We're not due for another 10 years here,
Yeah,
right? Because
at
the last one was Bruins. Flyers, right? Or was
Yes,
it the
yes.
Kings?
No, it's the Kings.
Wow.
Kings,
2019.
Kings.
Okay,
But-
so we got another 10 years to make, boys.
So the odds are not looking good. But I will say this: you guys are still in it. You know, mentally, you can't check yourselves out yet. Like
Oh,
I know
I
that.
mean-
Oh, we absolutely can. I mean, the
Well-
players can't, but even they did. Listen,
They did.
here's what my thought process is going to be as they maybe win games. So if they win game 4, I have like no difference between how I feel right now and after winning game 4. If anything, I start to feel slightly worse because they're
They
now going to go
blue-balled
to
you.
Toronto and they're going to get booed on home ice, and it's going to be god awful if they lose game 5. If they win game 5, I am physically enraged because they're putting me through physical and mental pain of watching them win 2 games to give me false hope. They win game 6, I'm right back in. Like it's like burn this tape. I'm on the bandwagon. Let's go to Maple Leafs. Like that is the roller coaster of the Leafs and what's could be ahead and what's definitely not ahead. But anyways.
I think I genuinely might hate them more if they actually pull it off. Like I genuinely like why?
Are we gonna
Why
break
are-
our TVs
why
if
do
they
you
were to
do
win this?
to
Yeah.
us? You know what I
So
mean?
true.
Like if that's how you started, why don't you finish the way that you start? Like start the way you finish. Like if I would genuinely hate them more. I told this story, I think one of the last times we were on here. I think it might have been going into game 5 against the Lightning, where I told the story of when they came back from 3-0 against Columbus. And at 3-0, I just left the room. I literally went to the dark room, put on the TV. The Jays were playing that night, and I just watched the Jays. And on my phone, I got 3-1. Oh, actually, I heard my family too, but it was like 3-1. Everybody's like, "Oh, nice goal." 3-2. Oh my God. 3-3. Ah! And then I was like, God, you're gonna make me turn it on. You're gonna make me turn it on when I gave up on you at your lowest. You're really gonna pull me back in. And then I turned it on. They pulled through. And it was like, oh, I hate them because I knew they were gonna find a way to end up losing. And guess what? I called it. I knew it. Then
Literally
they
the
pulled out a
next
stinker
game.
the next game.
That Dave,
It was a bad one too.
that score that you just brought up, 3-0, down, 3-1, 3. It,
I
it
like
could
this, Brian.
happen
I
again,
like this.
but for the series.
They have to look at games. They have to look at goals as games. Yes, yes. They did it against Tampa 4-1. Just look at the goals as games. Very simple. So simple. Leafs, just do the thing. Keith, just tell them to do the thing and they'll do the thing.
Just do the thing that only 4 teams have ever done in
Dubas,
100
tell
years.
Keith to do the thing by doing the thing and tell like I don't know. I think
I think it's unlikely. It's
any no, dude, anyone who's even telling you, like, who's trying to be there, like, hey, I have
optimist.
faith, like they're gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
please, like you're
Don't yell
lying
at
to
them.
yourself.
Don't yell at them
No,
though.
no.
They're just hopefully misguided. You know what I mean? Like
Yes, and
they know deep down it's done.
it's just to think it's not done is crazy in my mind. As someone who has been the crazy optimist, like I will not be back in until it's like a 3-3 series. Like until then, it is you are putting me through physical pain and I hate you. And even then, there's still like the world where you lose game 7.
I think that is I'll be genuinely honest with you guys here. I think that's the outcome of this series. I think they genuinely go it's 3-3 and then they put us through misery in game 7 and they lose.
Is that worse than getting swept?
Oh, I can't even tell you because I know I'm already preparing myself for that pain before the pain of the pain has already happened.
Okay. So a week ago, we're like on clouds. I know. I see even you bring up a week ago. I know. I know. So 8 days ago in the before times, back when the world was black and white and the Leafs had won a round. Okay. We were high as a kite, all this good stuff. 8 days later, we're basically like 2 centimeters away from like entering hell. Okay.
This franchise is about to burn it, like the fan base is about to burn it, like each other down. And if once this happens, it's gonna be like all a war in the streets of like don't go down to Front Street, or if you do, bring like a rocket launcher with you or something because you're not gonna survive, pretty much.
Okay.
You make it sound like the purge, man.
So okay, look,
it's the closest thing. Like 24-hour purge, the Leafs,
Toronto Maple Leafs hockey,
same thing.
So 8 days ago, heaven. Right now, hell. We're gonna assume there's no way to get back to heaven. How do you get back to purgatory, which is maybe even the worst option? And what I mean by that is there a world where the Leafs lose the series, whatever, get swept, 5 games, 6 games, doesn't matter, and the Panthers like win a cup or appear in the final? Does that in any way whatsoever, and maybe it's even stupid for me to ask this question because I feel like I'm getting my answer as I ask myself, is there any way that relieves any type of pain or makes you do the revisionist history and be like, well, they lost to the eventual cup champs, so like we gotta keep the team together or whatever? Like, is there any world where that matters?
I think that makes us look like even bigger losers than I think we even thought that we were.
That's where that's honestly, Dave, like, listen, as I was saying it in my head, I'm like, no, what the hell are you saying? No, that would suck. You said the rational,
you know,
but this isn't rational. It's not a rational team.
We're putting all our cards out on the table here. Like I'm showing I've got ace kings right now. You know, I got a pair of aces in my hand. Yeah, Christian's got a pair of kings.
Pocket twos. And they're just like, and there's no twos on the
it's just pocket twos on the table, and everybody else has got some sort of soup going on here. It makes us look like even bigger losers than the fan base chanting, we want Florida, we want Boston, we want.
Could you imagine we lose to Florida and we're still chanting, we want Florida so they win the cup and we look better, we want Florida. No. So is there a world where you right? Is there a world? No.
No, there's no world.
I didn't click it until
the world's gone. My world has just crumbled.
I talked to someone today at work who I hadn't seen in a while, and they said to me, "Hey Christian, are you done?" And they were referring to like school, as in like me finishing up school, because that's how long it's been since I haven't seen them. And I just said, yes. And that was like in reference to like being done with life. Like
the will to live.
That's funny. Oh my God.
And he's like, no, it's cool. I mean, yes to all the questions. Yes, I'm done school. Yes, I'm done with life.
Yeah.
No, there isn't a world.
Yes.
Yeah,
All of the above.
listen, it's crazy. Like once again, 8 days ago, John Tavares celebrated as the greatest moment in this franchise for 20 years. I like how do you even like go around and like try to trade him? Like I don't even think you can. He has a no move clause, so like I don't even know.
Dude, 8 days
I,
later, he has become the I know Mitch and
I
I know
wouldn't say he's the
Austin.
poster boy. I personally I wouldn't.
I think he had genuinely the worst game out of the three, though. That's the one
Yesterday?
Like, you know what? Yeah, yesterday. Like in 8 days, he's went from king of pajama land to, let's burn all the pajamas down in sight and burn everything
You have
down
been
about this
demoted
team.
to the peasant dust bunnies.
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought scoring
my-
that goal would have absolved of all his sins.
well, it did for 8 days.
For 8 days. It like
and then
Brian,
and then they've committed more sins. Just
That-
like they just like we absolved them of all the sins, and we're like, listen, fresh slate. And we look back at the slate 8 days later, and it's dirtier than what we started with, man.
yeah. Dude, I think this has to be the hockey. It has to be the hockey gods punishing us for maybe winning
For a
series
lot.
when we shouldn't have. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For everything
Karma.
that we did, like, is that what it is? Or is it genuinely up to like forces beyond our control? Is that genuinely what we're resorting to here?
Like Chris just said, the rational skill. That's on the
But,
scale.
like,
It's on the it's a
if it's
0.5.
on the scale, like your opinion counts. Everyone's opinion counts here because like if you wanted to tell me that maybe we should like put Wayne Simmons, maybe put him in net. Okay, maybe try it. Maybe.
Oh, he played
listen.
in his minor career, like
Kiwi?
in his Kiwi,
Minor
yeah.
Bantam? Yeah, that's
sure.
good enough. Right? So I saw a
Speaking,
Beaverton article today and it was like Leafs fan or no, Leafs very pleased that they were able to find an even more devastating way to ruin their fans' Aprils and May. I was like, oh my God. Oh my, just 8 days ago, the Beaverton articles were in our favor. They
Yeah.
were like, NHL fans don't know what to do with themselves after losing their only joke.
Oh, man, do you remember how I came on this podcast and I said to you guys, I was like, if any other fan of another fan base is trying to tell us to stop cheering so hard because we just won one round and then to stick it up all their asses, well, are they now in full force? Because all that was justified, because from what you're seeing from this team, all of that celebrating was justified because we had to celebrate that round one win like it was a Stanley Cup final, because our existence is pain. Pain is the Leafs. The Leafs suck. Good night. Good fucking evening. Good morning, basically, right? Because like we saw 3 games. You saw 3 games in a row. Every single game, it's been progressively getting like, we had the opportunities in game 1. We were stonewalled by Bobrovsky. We had the opportunities in game 2 and
we were straight up like
them.
dominating in game 2.
Yeah, we took them
Still
and then they took it away from us in the matter of legitimately a minute and a half. 90 seconds was how long it took for all of our hopes and dreams to crumble to ash. Game 3, they didn't start off that great. They got the first goal, and then everything just went to complete and utter garbage. Of course, when you give us the chance to celebrate, we're gonna take it, because all we know is pain. It's just there's got to be new words to pain, because I can't even, like, this is worse than pain.
Spain without the S, champagne without the sham.
So
I need some champagne.
So
right
I
now.
remember I asked you guys both. I don't know if you guys remember this. You probably don't now that I think about it. But I asked you guys, if you guys win round 1 and you guys were to lose round 2, would you consider it a successful year of progress?
I think
said
yes.
I do remember.
I think we both said yes.
Both
so
guys
I
said
think
yes.
this was the only like option in the multiverse where no, right? This is the only option where it's no.
Doctor Strange on top of Scotia
Calculate, yeah.
6. He's like, how many? They're like, how many?
I found it.
It's like there's 14 billion possibilities for the outcome of this series.
How many were
there's only one
to
to piss off your fan base one more goddamn time. How many possibilities? One, and we're living in it. Oh,
Damn, I think
baby,
we
I
found a
love
new
it.
TikTok format, man.
Oh, man.
That was good.
That was a really good
That
one.
was really good. Except, yeah, it's the opposite
Except I
of
want to
good. It
cry.
is
Yeah, it's
ungood.
fantastic. Except that I literally want to cry. I
Yeah.
want to drink some bubbly substances right now, and
I want to shrink into nothingness. I want
Yeah.
to cease
So
to exist.
so I do wanna we talked a lot about Leafs. I do want to shout out Florida Panthers for bringing their A game for Game 3. Obviously got built up by their goalie. We already talked about it games 1 and 2, but we already gave him our flowers. We already said how great he is. I did. If
Yeah,
you guys didn't.
he didn't even have to.
No,
Like that's the thing
listen.
too. Like he was good yesterday. He was fine.
Yeah.
Bob was good yesterday.
We didn't
He didn't
test
have
him.
to be. He didn't
Yeah,
have
No.
to.
that's true.
And they scored goals that we were scoring on Vasilevsky. That went off of Verhaeghe's ass. No
Yeah.
goalie saving that. Right?
Do
And
you-
we didn't see much of that from the Leafs yesterday.
Do you guys want to give credit to Wool at all? Because he
I wanna-
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he did. He
Mhm.
battled. He battled.
I
I
think
don't really think you can put blame on him.
I think just for that game alone, I think cements Joseph Wall for me as being at least given the chance to be the Leafs backup next year, because
Yeah.
many goalies would be put in that situation and crumble. And I know he let in he actually let in all 3 of the goals, but I literally I can't even blame him one bit. I thought he was
Justin Hall went for a stroll. I don't even remember
Yeah,
the
what
other
was-
ones. Sorry.
Honestly, like
again, it's hard to defend him.
It's Justin Hall games. It's Justin Hall games.
Yeah, I want
Is
to
it
like
possible
him.
to say that Justin Hall had a good game and a terrible game, just
And
like
a
Eric Gustafson? Because like all it took was one play to make it a terrible game by Justin Hall. And that's the story of his career as a Leaf.
Yeah.
Story of his career. Happened in round
he's got Jay Gardner syndrome, where Jay Gardner will
Yeah.
game
They're
game
not as
7,
hideous
2018.
mistakes. Sometimes you got to go looking for them. Like something happened that was wrong on the play, but you really got to look for it. Jay Gardner at least made it obvious for us. At least he had some mercy on us, Leaf fans. He said, "Look at me.
I'm
I
putting
don't
up
know what
points.
I'm doing. I don't know." Justin Hall, he's like confidently wrong, right? He's like, "Yeah, I know what I'm doing. What do you mean I don't?" And then you look back on the play, you're like, "Oh God."
Like, you lost the plot completely.
Yeah.
I'll shout out. I guess we'll start our shout outs to Alexander Barkov, man. Holy hell.
Had a good game.
Has he put that top set? It feels like he goes on whenever like our top six forwards are out there, and he's put them into the dust. Colin White is another one who has not
I
shown up on
wanted
the
him
score sheet.
so bad at the start of the
That
season.
guy has neutralized everything about this franchise, basically.
Carter Verhaeghe has been a monster.
Carter
Duclair had a
Verhaeghe.
monster game.
Yeah,
Sam
up.
Reinhart in our dreams. I mean, in our nightmares.
Another
in our
Sam.
dreams, if
Brandon
we
You
were
guys
dead.
wanna-
Montour.
All
Shout
the
You
out
guys want to give him
Sams.
that?
Yeah, Sam Bennett, monster. Kachuk, monster. Montour in game 1, monster. Lots of monsters on that team.
Gustav Forsling, pretty
Forsling,
sulky.
underrated guy. Listen, they played a good game. They have lots of team speed, and I think team speed is like a mentality, and I think that's something you can instill in your players, because like there's some guys on Florida who you wouldn't say are fast. Mark Stahl, Eric Stahl, Radko Gudas, fast? No, but you watch them play, and they are confident in their decisions. They have conviction, and that looks fast. When you make a quick decision, that is being fast in a way. Us, we played scared, we played not to lose, all of the total cliches that we've thrown around for years and years and years.
So
You can throw the blame anywhere here, man. Anywhere.
So something I just wanted to point out. The Panthers have 3 in the top 9 for percentage of shifts started in the defensive zone. They are arguably the 3 best defensive players: Aaron Ekblad, Gustav Forsling, and Alexander Barkov. So they specifically it looks like these guys are put out there just to shut you guys down, and it looks to be working.
Barkov
Going-
looks like
because-
Ryan O'Reilly with like wheels. That's what Barkov looked like to me. Just
That's-
rough.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that's good
like
comparable.
Sasha Barkov, like, dude, Matthews and Marner started 100% of their. It was like 100% of their faceoffs were in the offensive zone, and they still got. I believe that the chances, or was like shots for and against, it was like with Matthews on the ice, it was like 7-16, and with Marner it was like 4-18 or something like that.
I do actually have the stat for the percentage of shifts started in the defensive zone. In the top 7 were lowest, like in the lowest players so far that have the lowest percentage of shifts started in the defensive zone. You guys have 3 of them in the top 7. They are Austin Matthews at 2, John Tavares
David
at
Camp.
3, and William Nylander at 7.
Oh, is this offensive zone?
Like
Yeah.
percentage of shifts
Sorry,
started in
whoops.
defensive zone, like in the inverse. Yeah.
Oh, in
Yeah.
defensive zone.
Yeah. So it
No.
looks like
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on a second.
Okay.
it's like Austin Matthews, John Tavares, and Nylander are not starting faceoffs in the defensive zone.
Yeah.
at all.
Okay.
Oh,
so
okay,
that
sorry,
makes
sorry,
sense.
yes,
So
yes,
that goes
sorry.
to what we're saying. Okay. I was confused
Okay.
for a second.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All checks out.
all checks out. One more thing I just want to ask
so
you
did
guys.
they.
Do you guys think Paul Maurice has outcoached Sheldon Keefe? And do you think John Cooper has outcoached Sheldon Keefe?
I
Sheldon
think
Keefe.
Dominic Ducharme has outcoached Sheldon Keefe. I think
Where I was going
um,
with it, Dave.
John Tortorella has outcoached Sheldon Keefe. I think John Cooper outcoached Sheldon Keefe twice, has a 1-1 record against Sheldon Keefe. I think Paul Maurice is about to outcoach Sheldon Keefe. I think I could outcoach Sheldon Keefe at this point right now, personally.
Okay.
Is that the
Yeah.
answer you
Good
wanted,
No,
Brian?
it's
Because
true.
No,
So-
I wanted to hear no, but the players have like not been
no,
working
I
hard.
mean they have.
but-
Column A,
They've
column
completely
B.
tuned him out. They've
Column A,
completely
column
tuned
B.
him out. The
Yeah.
players have failed Sheldon Keefe, and Sheldon Keefe has failed the players. I think that's clearly evident here.
Sheldon Keefe's words hold no weight in the press conferences anymore. They don't hold
No.
weight. Right?
He's a puppet.
They're,
He's a
they're,
puppet
they're
master.
simply words coming out of a mouth.
Yeah.
Even the players, like I've said this, Ryan O'Reilly, Ilya Samsonov, like those are the only guys whose words like are actual words that I hear with my ears. Is there a world where you can bring back Dubas without Sheldon Keefe?
Hopefully,
I don't. So that's kind of where it goes, right? Like I feel like Keefe.
I think that's the only world I
barring-
want to live in. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
right?
If it's any other, if there's a world where it's no Dubas, no, like if it's both of them gone, I'm upset. If they're both here, I'm upset. I don't think it's going to be one or the other. But
There's
I think
not a world where Dubas leaves and Keefe stays. There's not that world.
I think
Doctor Strange is still looking for it right now.
they have to. Dubas owes this fan base one more bullet in the chamber, basically.
Well, Dubas owes the fan base, but does the ownership and Brendan Shanahan owe Dubas that bullet? That's what we got to find out. If they owe him the bullet, or at least if they are willing to offer him it. Right now, he's out of ammo. He needs a max ammo. Okay, MLSE can give it to him. So some of the stuff we always talked about we didn't really talk too much about Dubas to Pittsburgh, honestly. We heard those rumors loud and clear, but around the same time that stuff came out, there was stuff about friction between Dubas and Shanahan. How much friction, the magnitude of it, we don't really know, and maybe this is wrong to even like dive into it. But there might be a world where you have to choose one or the other.
Okay, bye, Shani.
I think that's right. And
Yeah.
but so here that's without having the knowledge to know what moves are Shanny moves and which moves are Dubas moves, and what moves has Shanny maybe vetoed,
Ixnade, yeah.
right? That are good and bad. But maybe Dubas want to do something that thank God Shanny vetoed, and we have the team we have. Also, things in the inverse. Dubas might have had a fleece, Shanny vetoed, and instead we did this instead, right? So these are all hypotheticals and everything that are getting thrown around, but we're going to throw them around because it is not a rational fan base and it is not a rational team that we talk about here. It was for 8 days and it was great for 8 days, but before that span of time and after it, back at square one. Can't tell the difference between the two time periods. So,
Dude,
You guys-
at this point,
not over
at
yet.
this
They
point,
still have to put the book, the ending of the book, but
if you tell me in October that it's only like Dubas coming back, I'd be like, I genuinely would put my faith in him to rebuild another pretty.
I think
pretty
I'm there
solid
too.
team.
I think I'm there too.
I-
Do you worry that the biggest Dubas flaw that we've seen over his time has been being too loyal? And do you worry that he would So once again, I don't even know
Yeah.
if this is a
I
mistake.
know what you're
But
saying.
if you were to run it back,
again,
do you worry about it? Because the part of the Dubas equation that we think for in terms of getting him back is that he might want even more power, right? Which is why I bring up Shanny versus Dubas, right? So, and we, like I said, we know the Dubas motto has been loyalty. He values that. That's why Sheldon Keefe is still here, right? So,
So
I think he's just too smart to like he is genuinely
that's the
too.
one thing. He's been adaptable. We've seen him change his philosophy on the fly. So what is this? This is just one more version in the evolution of Kyle Dubas, right? I agree with you there. I think you give him that chance.
So as a team that doesn't support Toronto, so as a person
Yeah.
that doesn't support the Leafs, if Dubas gets sacked, promote McClellan, hire Dubas.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think is there a
31 other
single
teams.
fan base? I don't know. There's maybe 5 that would say, yeah, I'll keep our current GM, right?
Brisebois,
Yeah.
maybe
Colorado,
Yzerman,
Tampa.
yeah,
I
Trotz,
don't know.
that's another one.
I think that's it.
Yzerman's had Detroit in the mud for 4 years now. There's been no traction
He'll fix
there.
it.
I think we named them Brisebois, Joe Sakic, and you guys have one other one that I'm already forgetting.
Trotz.
But it was like
because he just got
but Trotz has not even done the job yet. So
That's true.
I think even people would take Dubas over him. Point is, like, it is a very short list. Doesn't this feel eerily similar to Anthopoulos, Dave? And I think that comparison's been brought up before.
And he won
But
a
he
World
does.
Series.
Yeah, he did. So that's just
So-
part and parcel with the Leaf
So
experience.
I hate to ask you guys this question, but we're running out of time. I want to get it over with quickly. You guys have to make a change to your core. Who's out?
So are you saying core 4, who would you move in?
A core piece of your team. Yeah.
I think you're
Danny?
gonna go core 4 because I don't think you're moving Morgan Riley right now, to be honest. Like, I think you kind of just say 7.5 is worth what he gives us in the playoffs. You kind of take the
You
thorns
just-
of regular season Morgan Riley at this point until he shows you otherwise in the playoffs. So core 4 guy, I mean, the easy choice is Tavares, but that is also the hard choice because he has a no move clause. So it's all in his power. But I do think Tavares is the type of hockey robot that would be like, yeah, I guess if you think this is good for the team, then I would do it. I'd make the sacrifice. That is like a sad reality, though. I don't think that happens. So I'm not going to include him.
Who takes the
Just from a
bullet?
number standpoint, it's Marner, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
and listen, I'm gonna change my answer. I would go Willie. I think Willie's the one where you can win the trade. That's it. As Willie, as
I
maybe
think
my
we're
favorite
past. I think we're past winning and losing trades now, Christian. I think this is just in terms
true.
of like just doing it for the sake
Change
now.
for change?
I think change for change's sake.
If you get 80% of Marner's value, is that a win in the grand scheme of things? Right? It's possible.
It could be. Even if it's still a loss, it's still maybe the only option. It might genuinely be the only option here.
So
I like listen. I don't think we're gonna spend too much more. I think these topics now are gonna have to be the topics for your. I'm gonna answer your question right now, Brian. I'm not opposed to any 4 of them. I'll be completely I love Austin Matthews like legitimately with all my heart. He's my all-time favorite Leaf. He's shut up all my. I'm not even opposed to trading him.
So
I'm done. I'm done.
And I think that's a good place to end it. I think that we are done with this
We are
pod.
done. I'm done with life.
If you want to get your Sad Reinhardt jersey at NHLShop.ca, shout out to Fubo, shout out to Razor. Draft lottery tonight. Thank you guys for listening. That's a wrap.
Woohoo!